I'm here at the hotel the night before training camp for off-panel, off-road. There's not a lot of comic book stuff involved. I did bring my Ant-Man shirt, so technically that's comic book involved. It has to be comic book involved for off-panel, off-road, right? Fuck. I'm sorry. I'll let you guys down. Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Episode 161, everybody. Coming at you live from my...
61, yeah. Wait.
Live at the time that we recorded.
It's 69, right? That's the number that everybody's...
Yeah.
Wow.
161.
61, yeah.
What kind of sex position is that?
I have no idea.
Let me ask you that.
I'm pretty sure at this point, I don't remember any sex. So I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't even remember.
So many years.
What a woman feels
I'm
like.
Tyler. By the way.
Yeah. I'm Jake.
Where are we going with that? Shit.
There's nowhere to go.
What do we got to talk about this week?
Imagine the person driving right now. They're confused. Don't take that exit.
Shit. I was supposed to take exit 161.
There's not a lot of news this week, so this is crowd work, the episode. What crowd work?
I'm driving. I want you to entertain me, you fuck.
What do you see out there, driver?
You crazy
Do you
driver.
see some cows from farmland? Do you see some
Okay, so
skyscrapers?
you know what? For the driver, here's some driver games you can play when you're driving along. One of them is every time you see an animal, if there's multiple people in the car or at least one other person, you have a game where the first, whoever sees the animal first on the road, either in the whatever, points at it and yells out the name, like cow.
That sounds like you're gonna get like right now. I feel like someone just wrecked because they're looking for a cow and they crashed.
Yeah, don't die.
Man, you're just chock full.
Here's
of
another game to play. It's called Pass the J.
Pass
Pass the J.
All right, so we want to get to a little bit of news. This is, by the way, this is a super relaxed fit episode.
Oh, you played? We do have news.
Yeah, we do. I was gone over the weekend. We recorded on Sunday afternoon, and we just kind of, it is weird because there's this big hype leading into Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was like, I'd said that I was only going to see 2 movies in the theaters, and that was Furiosa, Deadpool and Wolverine. So my summer movie,
my year's done.
Yeah. Although I would be tempted to see Romulus. Alien Romulus looks really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd see it in a theater because despite what they told me at that goddamn Cinemark, I'll watch it wherever I want. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, Maria Menounos.
Fucking. Here she is again.
We are so mean to
I know.
her.
Speaking of movies, first of all, I would like to give a big round of applause to Deadpool and Wolverine becoming the highest grossing domestic R-rated movie.
Wow.
Yeah, beating out Passion of the Christ, who somehow surprisingly held that record for 20 years.
Did we even look it up? We had an actual really funny wires crossed earlier because you told me that, Jake, you actually saw that in the theater, right?
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, which should not have been at the age that you
we
did.
didn't really have... Internet took a while to hit Talmadge, Nebraska, so I would like to say that...
That's the one we were thinking about. The
Last Temptation of Christ.
Yes. So, Passion of the Christ is the Mel Gibson directed and produced torture porn movie starring Jim Caviezel, who has apparently turned into a fucking right-wing dipshit.
He thinks you're drinking adrenochrome, you rich
apparently,
elite.
you fucking douche nozzle. Anyway, Never really
protect
liked
the
that
children
guy. I
or
never
save the
really liked that
children
guy.
or
He's just
whatever.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Last Temptation of Christ is the one that I was thinking about, which was the Martin Scorsese directed, Willem Dafoe acted,
Yeah.
and that was mainly about him banging Mary Magdalene.
Yeah. Wow.
He was a man.
So, yeah, it's kind of, well, there's a few milestones. So the Hollywood Reporter is talking about
Dude, can we put that on clip, by the way? Because that will literally like skyrocket our subscriptions if the Christian group gets a hold of that.
So
Holy
according
fuck.
according to
Damn.
according to the Hollywood Reporter, it just beat Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ that had 371.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
As the top grossing R-rated movie of all time. Right now, the movie is approaching $824.1 million. In its second weekend, and its box office only fell 53%, which is not surprising. I knew...
No, but that's tough to do in these times.
It is, but I think...
Having any legs after the first weekend is fucking
especially
tough
for
to
a
do.
Marvel movie.
Shit.
But I think it's because there's nothing. They had the fucking Purple Crayon movie come out, and I think there's another one, but it didn't have much competition last week, and it definitely doesn't have much competition this week. So it's gonna keep going, and what's crazy about it too is I thought, first off.
I don't care that your phone's vibrating. I keep looking and seeing
I don't
if
like
it's
it
mine.
going off because
Yeah.
it fucks up with the recording.
Oh,
so
that's. I
just
mean,
stop,
I agree.
Stop bringing attention to it.
I fucking agree.
Why don't you fucking knock it off?
I fucking hate that you have your phone.
You want a soundboard?
Fucking soundboard.
Yeah, shut up. So
Yeah, shut up.
way to derail the whole fucking show again. Thanks, man.
Hey.
I wasn't in the middle of making a point. Whatever. Didn't have a lot of competition. It's a strong IP because of just the insane marketing campaigns that Ryan Reynolds has done with these movies. It has Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and I think because of the spoiler nature of it, people are like, "Oh shit, he's wearing the mask," and saying like, "Dude, there's so many different Wolverine variants." And
We should have
so
done
many
spoiler,
Easter
but
eggs.
too late.
Fuck them. But anyway, everybody's seeing this movie. It's making $824
I should go
million.
see it again
But
before it goes out of
Here's
theaters.
what's so impressive. Well, I was shocked because I thought the first two Deadpool movies had already beaten that record that the Passion had. So I was kind of shocked.
Yeah.
But then it's showing me like, oh wow, this is completely destroying the entire run of the first two movies. So Deadpool 1, its domestic earnings were $363.1 million for a total of $782.6
Global?
million worldwide. Yeah. Which, by the way, Deadpool and Wolverine.
I prefer global to worldwide.
Hey guys, I know math is not that fun, but Deadpool and Wolverine is already at $824 million. And that
Domestically.
movie, and that's only in the second weekend.
You said domestically, right? Or is that globally?
Will you fucking... You keep interrupting. I'm trying to make my point. 100 so it is it's earned 110.5 million foreign and then 428.5 million and wait, what? So it's 428.5 million globally or foreign for the 2 weeks to make the total 824.1 million.
So right, so it's
Total.
almost it's
Globally,
already beat out. It's almost
The
beat out
entire run of the
number
first
one.
movie, and it beat out the and the entire run of the second movie because the second movie made a little bit less than the first movie. The second movie ended up with 734.5 globally. So this movie is already beating both the entire run of those first two movies, and those both those movies were big successes. They made a lot of money.
Big movies. Tent poles, they call them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think of tent poles like as a tent.
So it's still, by the way, I think it's important to point out it beat it domestically, too. It didn't beat out Joker because Joker is still number one because Joker made over $1 billion
domestically,
globally.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
Yeah, because it shot up to number 3 worldwide. So number 1 worldwide is Joker. It made over $1 billion, and then Oppenheimer made almost $1 billion.
Really?
975.2 million.
Wow. What's 3?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
What's number 4 now?
Jesus Christ! I don't know.
Where's Barbie on the list?
We're talking about R-rated movies, not PG. God.
You said it was a relaxed fit episode, you liar.
I'm not relaxed at all. Because you keep... Numbers are hard, brother. I'm trying to get them right.
I know. You should have brought your fucking
so
notebook.
What does this mean? What is the bigger, broader picture of this?
fucking know.
I think it's a multitude of things. I think it's, again, another crazy marketing campaign for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is Hugh Jackman coming back to be Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's the comic book costume of Wolverine. It's the comic bookness of the plot of this like multiverse adventure, and it's gonna be all these crazy cameos, and there's just this event to it. I don't think we've had an event movie like this in a while from Marvel, which is crazy to say, but it's true because now, as we mentioned in the last episode, Quantumania means nothing because Kang's gone forever. No, I think that
It's too bad. You could recast him easily. But I suppose if you want to just reboot everything with Secret Wars, you can do a Kang then.
Mm.
It's just unfortunate.
I also want to say
those Kang variants.
I also want to say for me as a long time is what I meant to say. A long time Deadpool fan, for me I would just want to say that this success of these 3 movies has been such a delight because it is a validation of like this like lower because I jumped on when Daniel Way was running, so that was still kind of where he was really starting to take off in the comics.
Yeah.
But like to see that character change and grow and get to the level that it is, and to see this character have this franchise that is gonna make is made over $1 billion. Is
Deadpool
kind of nuts.
now, yeah, Deadpool now is like the level of like Mickey Mouse like recognizability. But
I don't know about that.
worldwide, I mean, you know, I'm just saying like
Yeah.
he's pretty recognizable.
Worldwide, yeah, because they do a lot. Even this last one, they talked about going and doing like crazy, like promo tours and all like different, like African countries.
But what
and,
I was,
like they were making this a global event for this movie.
What I was talking about is that I was around when Deadpool first came out in the comics, and I was reading the
South
comics.
American, I think. Excuse me.
He was. I mean, it was a bona fide star right there. Like the whole Cable Deadpool thing was just, and Domino, like it was all Liefeld, and I can't remember who was the writer.
Fabian
Nicieza.
Yeah,
Nicieza.
he's a big one. Him and Joe Kelly, I think, and I love it or hate it. I know this is like really disputed.
But they finished out the New Mutants comic book, the original run, because it became X-Force. And that's when it took off, because then they had a Spider-Man fucking... They did... Him and Todd McFarlane basically did a crossover issue where the Spider-Man book, which McFarlane launched, and the X-Force book, which Liefeld launched, or they helped launch, because according to everybody, it's all owned by Marvel. But they both did comic books where you had to read them sideways, because all the panels were splash pages. And it was about X-Force fighting Juggernaut and Spider-Man getting involved. So the Spider-Man issue was written and drawn by Rob Liefeld, and the X-Force issue was written and drawn by Todd McFarlane. It was really, really cool, actually. But Deadpool was right off. He was just one of those characters like Cable that you didn't know anything about, and maybe that's why it lent itself to like, oh, that character's cool. But there was also like a really big deal about pouches and masks and stuff. And Deadpool caught both of those easily. He also had katanas and big fucking guns and shit.
He's meant to be a parody of Deathstroke.
Right, but originally he was just not really a one-off, but I mean, he was... I mean, if you read Rob Liefeld's Youngblood books, like there's like 8 Deadpool character-looking motherfuckers in that book. Anyway.
Yeah, but he was, again, his name is Wade Wilson, a play on Slade. He's intentionally designed to kind of look like Deathstroke anyway.
You think, I think it's Daniel, you're talking about Way and Donnie Cates and whatnot. Those guys...
No, it was Gary Dugan.
Okay.
And
but somebody took Deadpool, what he was, which was kind of nothing. Just
Duggan?
Whatever. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. And probably him, and made him more the fourth wall breaking, Merc with the mouth. I mean, that was his nickname at the beginning, but he didn't become Deadpool until somebody else took him on.
The Daniel Way version of the
I don't know. You said Daniel Way. I don't know.
The Daniel Way has been disputed around of like the fandom of like, because I can understand where they kind of made him into like meme pool and it got a little too zany. But then I was also like, yeah, but some of it was still pretty entertaining. I don't know. We're not talking about that, but we are in a way because as a sense of like.
I think Gary Duggan wrote the Deadpool Secret Wars, didn't he? I think
that might have been Cullen Bunn has done a lot.
No, it was Cullen Bunn. Yeah.
Cullen Bunn has done a lot.
That's
of his
another
stuff
name
too.
that comes up a lot too, and I can say from reading that series that I really like how
I would say that
Cullen
Fabian Bunn. and Joe Kelly and Cullen Bunn and like I really like the Gary Duggan stuff. I think those guys did a really good job creating the character, but I can't not take away from what Daniel Way did because Daniel Way was my introduction.
I
to
can't
said
take
character.
away from what Rob Liefeld did.
Yeah.
We've talked about that.
Deadpool wouldn't exist.
I laid to rest my hate for Liefeld.
The Liefeld shoe store was still pretty
Just
funny.
feet.
Just feet. Amazing. So no, it's a great win for Marvel. It's a great win for Deadpool and Wolverine. I think it's almost a guarantee that we'll see them in Secret Wars.
Probably.
Even Ryan Reynolds is playing with that because he's like, I know what Thor is crying about. I can't unknow it. Like playing with that, but I'm like, it's clearly just reused footage from Loki, from
Dark World.
Dark World when he's holding Loki. Yeah, it's definitely just.
But it's so funny.
Reuse the footage.
It's so funny.
No, that's what makes it.
Wait, what was he? Go back.
No, that's what makes it even funnier because it is just reused footage, and that's what makes it even greater. It makes it even more meta and silly. And Cullen Bunn did, I think, Deadpool kills the Marvel universe.
I read the
Deadpool Illustrated.
I read Deadpool Illustrated, which was really good. I think he did that. Yeah. Did Donnie Cates write him at all, or am I thinking more
Venom? I think.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
that was a fun time talking about Deadpool.
Good job, Deadpool and Wolverine.
I still have back in the day, right when I started collecting Legos, around 2010 or so, or 2012. They came out with a Marvel set that was Magneto. It was a helicopter, and the 3 minifigures were Magneto, Wolverine, and Deadpool. And it was, I bought the set. I still have all 3 of the minifigures. Mm-hmm. And the Deadpool is like one of, I don't know this for sure, but I know that he's highly sought like in the collectibles or whatever. So I'm never selling that one.
All right. Well, we got the news part out of the way. Now you
Fuck
can
the news.
Stop listening to the show because now it's going to get fucking
It's going to get ASMR.
You're going to get ear fucked.
You're going to get
ear fucked.
Wow. All right. What? Just, okay. Make sure you're
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
That's the new start to it, isn't it? Mark Wahlberg.
This is a special Australian edition. I'm Chaz.
Hey, shut up.
What? You ruined the bit. I'm sad. Now Chaz Hemsworth has said he doesn't want to do the bit now. Oi!
This is an Australian edition. I'm Bill Gibson.
No, I'm not. He's not that other guy.
No, I'm that other guy. No.
And I'm Chaz Hemsworth. I'm not the guy who plays Thor.
Also, if you are Australian, we do
apologize.
Apologize, yeah.
But there is no substitute for Arnott's Tim Tam original cookies. Australia's favourite biscuits. Now let me read a little bit to you.
Probably not listening anymore right now.
Created in 1964.
Tim Tam!
Tim Tam is Australia's most loved and most iconic chocolatey biscuit. Indulge in irresistible layers of Tim Tam with a mouth-watering combination of smooth chocolatey coating, crunchy cookie, and a luscious velvety center. I don't know what my accent is anymore.
You were really good for a minute. I was believing it.
What more could you wish for?
I don't know.
Let's go to the Gold Coast and
original cookies.
They're Australian Tim Tams.
Tim Tam. It's Australian. It's Australian for cookie.
I'm going to have a Foster's and a Tim Tam
Holy
and beat up a kangaroo.
Oh, those things be thick, boy.
Yeah. Be careful. It's probably
Bruh.
melty. So we're taking the Tim Tam to town.
I'm gonna Tim Tam.
We're going to Tim Tam town.
I want you to Tim Tam me tonight.
All right, ready?
Tim Tam me tonight.
Tim Tammy tonight. It's an AC/DC song. Oh, fuck. Oh, Tim Tam. That's some good shit. It's like all chocolate. So there's like, it's like they took an EL fudge that was chocolate cookies with chocolate fudge in the center, and then they dipped it in chocolate fudge. Let me reread this here in English.
Sloppy.
Indulge in irresistible layers of Tim Tam with a mouth-watering combination of smooth, chocolatey coating, crunchy cookie, which is chocolate, and a luscious, velvety center, which is chocolate. What more could you wish for? Insulin.
That's great. That's just fucking great, man.
I'm gonna use the fucking insulin off this one.
You eating another one?
No,
Oh.
I ate half of it, and I'm eating the other
I'm
one.
gonna fuck these Tim Tams up.
I'll make sure to leave them out.
Tim Tam, Australian for delicious.
I'll eat your ass.
100%. Double it up.
1,000%. Tim Tam, keeping Australian stoners happy since 1964.
I'll eat your ass. $1 million, bitch.
That's how much I want. That's how much I want worth. If I make $1 million. All right.
Why are you pointing at me?
Sing it. Sing it down.
Singing, I love Cheetos. Okay,
If you
so
don't start opening that bag, I'm eating another fucking Tim Tam.
go
So
ahead.
Crikey.
So the next part of our adventure into Flavor Town is Cheetos Crunchy Salsa con Queso.
Sucking piece of gutter trash.
Two.
Would you just
white-
open the goddamn bag? The bit's over. Because those aren't Australian, are they?
No, as far as I know, it's got the it's got the little Sabor Latino guy.
What is that? I don't know what that
That's that little guy in the corner
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all the what is it? Frito-Lay.
means. What,
That's a special division of Frito-Lay.
it's like a
That's where like
Hispanic-
flame. Haven't you ever seen that movie?
Oh, is it like they get like it's like a Mexican?
it's
like
it's,
center,
it's
like they-
Hispanic culture themed, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So like you'll see some chips like the those Dinamitas, I believe had that. It's called Sabor Latino, I think.
These are the crunchy Cheetos.
Okay, so these are crunchy salsa con queso.
Not flaming hot.
I wouldn't have bought them. First blush, they taste like the cheddar jalapeno Cheetos. You know what I mean? But I like them because the cheddar jalapeno ones are actually really, to me, really spicy. These aren't spicy at all. They got really good flavor. I love them because I could eat a bag without feeling like my tongue's going to fucking fall off.
So I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific.
Oh, Artie.
Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm coming day and night. You asked.
I'll eat your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was for me? Okay. Give
Yeah.
them over here if you're going to decide. I'll eat these while you're... I'll be putting these in my pile.
I'm gonna say I'm torn between.
Nice.
And
I'll eat your ass.
so
I'm taking these with me.
I'm gonna say it.
I'll eat your ass.
All right, well, I'm going to give you another handful then.
We'll be back. I want to eat these fucking Cheetos.
It's a long box.
It's an extended, relaxed.
It's extended, relaxed fit, motherfucking long box.
The complete opposite of relaxed. Was that introduction? But yeah, extended long box, I guess. I guess this is extended because you told me that you had seen Point Break for the first time.
So
ever.
I was almost positive that I've said this to you before.
You have. I know
I'm
you.
pretty
have.
sure that the movie came up in our chats.
You've
and
definitely talked about it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never seen it. I believe I've seen parts of it. Definitely in Hot Fuzz, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm obviously aware of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've heard of it.
I'm fairly familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just hanging out the other night, and the night before I'd recorded a song, and the week before an album came out. So I'm like, I have nothing really to do.
Yeah.
And that's when I want to watch a movie. I want to watch a movie I haven't seen before because I'm ready to give my full attention to something,
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm like building a Lego and watching Newhart.
Fucking off
or,
on your phone or
whatever,
whatever.
right? I do have a rule for myself, and I think everybody should follow this: one screen at a time. If I'm watching TV, I don't have my phone out. I'll turn the TV off instead.
Yeah.
That's just me. My mom does it all the time. She's like, what? Love my mom, but turn off one of the screens. Anyway, no, I mean, whatever.
PSA from
I can't tell anybody. I'm just saying.
Tyler from Tyler Allen.
I think that's a good, healthy start to kind of weaning yourself off your phone. Is just okay. I'm not going to be on it if I'm. Yeah, you need to be on your phone. Go take a shit. That's where I go.
Yeah, it's a lot. A lot of it is practicing being present, being mindful of the situation.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to practice mindfulness, so there's that too.
But anyway, Point Break.
Point Break. So I finally sat down and I watched it. First of all, I didn't know it was directed by Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
And to me, that's funny because two of the biggest movies that guys automatically have hard-ons for is
The Hurt Locker.
Slapshot.
Oh, she did Slapshot?
No, but it was written by Nancy Dowd.
Oh.
A woman. And Catherine Bigelow obviously did Point Break. And it is one of the finest action movies. So here, okay,
Yeah.
so let me tell you how I went
yeah.
in. Let me tell you how I went in.
Go for it.
I go in and I go, okay, so I'm aware of kind of how this goes, but I don't know how it starts, how it goes into it. I didn't realize that fucking Anthony Kiedis was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I also, I mean, it's just, I went into it knowing how many of my friends and people that I love dearly just ape shit over this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, it's a really funny bit in fucking Hot Fuzz. It's really, really funny because they recreate a couple
recreate
of
that scene, yeah.
Exactly, right? The fucking chase after the bank is fucking insane, dude.
Dude, there's so many amazing set
whoever
pieces.
blocked that shit out, genius.
Oh, when they did the botched fucking raid and he almost had his face put into a lawnmower blade, you're like, what
dude,
the fuck? This
fucking-
movie's amazing.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so
I love fucking Point Break.
So I go into it, and the first thing I realize is that it's hard to. It's okay. Keanu Reeves is a great actor, and he's great. He's done a lot of franchises, he's done a lot of movies, and he's one of our national treasures. But it's hard to gauge what Keanu you're getting until about 5-10 minutes into the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this one, I have to say, to be really brutally honest, the guy who stole the fucking show of this movie is fucking Gary fucking Busey, dude.
100%.
Fucking Gary fucking Busey,
That dude is so unhinged in this movie, and it's so fucking
and
great.
it's before he is actually unhinged from actual
damage.
brain
Yeah. That accident, yeah.
hurt. Yeah. But he was always, this is probably prime coke.
Oh,
Gary
fuck.
Busey, you know what I mean? This is during the time when he was yeah.
When he's talking to him, he's like, it's the same as paper targets, just more to clean up.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
hey, Utah, right around the corner. There's a place that has the best meatball sandwich.
Can I just say,
I want you to go in there and I want you to get me 2 of them. All right?
Utah,
Okay.
give me 2. But I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, I don't think that scene was at all in the script. That
What?
was just them. They were
The
just
meatballs?
Yeah, I think he was trying to
Possibly.
tell Keanu to get him some meatballs, and they're like, "We should just fucking put this in the movie." I know it's actually a part of the plot, but I'm just
Probably.
it feels like it is because it truly like everybody else is normal in taking this movie seriously, but like Gary Busey is in a different fucking movie, and somehow it works.
Here's
Because he's like that
here's
in
what it
Predator.
is.
He's like that in Predator 2.
Right, but
He
here's
shouldn't belong in that movie.
Here's what it is, though: is the best movies to me are. It's very clear. It's not very clear. You get immersed in the movie because you don't feel the camera, right? And this movie is one of those where you're like, I don't even want to try and think in my brain while I'm watching this kick-ass skydiving or surfing
Oh my
scene.
God.
I don't want to try and think how they did that. Right? I don't know if they did. I don't care because I don't care.
Such a cool
because
sequence.
it's fucking great. It's all
Yeah.
fucking great, right? The fucking final scene when he fucking rides the fucking final wave, dude. Bodhi!
And he leaves his fucking badge in the sand.
Yes, and he's like, "Fuck it, dude."
Yeah.
I am an FBI agent.
Dude, I fucking love this movie. So what's so funny about it too?
But when he's like mad about her walking off, he's like, you can genuinely feel his anger.
Can I share something about this too?
Hmm.
I myself hadn't actually watched this movie all the way through until like a few years ago when I found it in like a Walmart bargain bin Blu-ray, and I bought it because I hadn't seen it forever. And I also thought like I don't even think I've actually seen like the actual theatrical.
Right,
I'd only seen it on TV.
Beginning, yeah, right, yeah.
And so
There's probably a lot
bought
that
it,
was cut out,
and
honestly.
Yeah, I forgot how violent this fucking movie is. So I bought it on Blu-ray and I watched it, and like that was the first time I completely watched it through, and I was like, holy shit, I forgot there was that fucking skydive scene at the end, like the whole third act fight. And then there's just shit like that. I totally blacked out the Gary Busey shit. Like I don't like because. And then upon
I remember watching because they
But
have the
watching
opening
it-
credits, and
yeah.
you see Gary Busey's name, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
But rewatching it years later, this movie still fucking holds up. It
Yeah,
still
it
is
very
awesome.
very much does.
Yeah.
It has a lot of the same themes that a lot of the themes are still relevant today. You know, somebody being angry at the system. I think a lot of people are angry at the system today.
And the fact that Keanu Reeves' character is a flawed character and mostly throughout the whole movie fails constantly.
And he represents the system,
Yeah.
basically, you know, and he at the end of it he rejects the system
he
too.
realizes he's part of
Did
the
we
problem.
just fucking
Yeah.
dissect fucking Point Break?
I'm glad you saw that. I finally watched this because this was a movie I wanted to cover on this show at some point. So I mean, like in these lull periods, you and I were talking about doing like more retro reviews. So
I liked it very much.
And you know what?
and,
I've seen this movie so much that I could review this with you because again, after I watched it all the way through again, I watched it again a few other times because I'm like, gosh, this movie is such a time capsule of that period of the early 90s action movie. Like this is like 1990 exactly. I think, or like 91.
89 maybe even.
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah.
And so this is the first time we're seeing like a big action movie without Arnold or Stallone and having a big name. Well, like Keanu wasn't that big of a name yet.
I think wasn't Swayze the bigger name at the time?
Because this was before Speed, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it was after Roadhouse. I mean, I think Swayze.
Well,
it was
this
after
was
Dirty
after
Dancing
Roadhouse.
and
So
shit.
you're right. Swayze was the bigger star at this
Yeah.
point. Swayze was the selling point. And it was a big deal because Swayze was playing a villain and he hadn't really done that before.
Yes.
And he's a great in this movie, dude.
Fantastic.
So good. And him and Keanu have like a believable, fun chemistry.
Yeah.
Of him kind of like trying to find his way and get accepted by these group of people and get accepted by these surfers. And it does what a good action movie should do and kind of takes a little bit of a ridiculous plot or idea for a plot or a pitch. Something maybe not so much ridiculous, but something that is like unique. Of like, let's make these surfers be bank robbers.
Yeah.
And it makes it believable and it makes it interesting.
They
and,
don't
and
have jobs, but they make and then they at the end of the season they go to another place and hide out. You know, like it's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant. Actually,
They just ride the waves.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, Swayze is great. I think the best movies, the best action thrillers are when the main antagonist and the main protagonist, especially like in an undercover situation, where the antagonist like takes to the protagonist like immediately. And Swayze like does that, like, because he's out there, he gets his ass kicked, and then I think what's her name, Tyler, comes up and gets him. The Lori Petty.
Yeah.
But then at another point, I think Swayze he rescues him from the Anthony Kiedis and those douchebags.
Yeah.
And they're, he's like, I like your style, man. Like it's they get along right away. And there's that pull in the protagonist, and that's Johnny Utah, and it's that
Johnny fucking Utah. What a name.
It's that pull of I really actually like this guy, but he is a fucking criminal, and it's my job to bust criminal. But that it's a great it's a well done movie. Action sequences are A+ top notch. The acting is great all around. And again, I think the best movies are when you don't feel the camera, and I didn't. Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, A+. I'll eat your ass. Give me my rating.
I'll eat your ass.
Yeah, I will. All 8 of you.
I would.
Oh, and here's the other thing: is the Rosie. We got to do a deep dive on that actor at some point, because he was in Oz. He was J.K. Simmons in Oz was like a Nazi guy in prison who.
My kid's home.
He was a Nazi guy in prison, and he took this one other prisoner as his bitch, and it is played by that guy. He was also one of Wayne's entourage in Wayne's World, I believe, both 1 and 2. This guy has been in a ton of stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that guy.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I got a story.
What? You got a story?
So when I was
Relax fit.
a week and a half ago, on July 24th, I released my third album, 1071, available everywhere under
oh
the
my
amazing
God, you're
T-Bird.
just gonna plug it.
Fuck yeah. But a friend of mine, Streetside Sound, at Streetside Sound on Twitter, she did a album release party on Twitch with me. And we just played each song, and I talked about it, and a bunch of people came in and stuff like that. And at one point I was talking about the name of the album, which is Police Code for Improper Use of Radio. And I said, okay, here's a great example. In Die Hard, when John McClane is on top of Nakatomi Plaza and he's trying to use the walkie-talkie to call the cops, and the lady's like, this is reserved for murder. No fucking shit, lady. You think I'm ordering a pizza? And I did such a great John McClane impression that my brother texted me. He was listening. He texted me and gave me a chef's kiss. So I was very, very happy with that. And I'm doing a Christmas album. Can you believe it? Yeah.
You're joking, right?
No. What? It's gonna have one Christmas song
Call
on
it the War on Christmas.
It's gonna be called. It's gonna have one song on it, one Christmas song, and then a couple other stuff, a couple other things. If I was a big star, it would be a cash grab for sure. But nobody buys my shit, so it's more just like, hey, remember me? I'm the T-Bird, amazing T-Bird.
Fuck you.
Kind of.
I wanted to talk about a comic book series I've been reading.
Oh yeah.
That I've read the first. There's 10 volumes, and I've read the first 4. So I'm about halfway through it. No, it's an interesting thing. It's a Jonathan Hickman book. Mm-hmm. He's Nick Grotta.
Is it DC or Marvel?
It's Image.
Huh.
So
I don't. What is that? Showing my shill.
You wouldn't like this series either because there's no superheroes.
Aww!
Well, it's kind of weird. So
there's no fucking capes.
Not really, but there's a lot of supernatural shit in it.
Can I just before you
it's
continue?
a strange series.
I liked it better in The Boys when they were calling them capes instead of soups. Didn't they used to call them capes in that show?
Yeah.
Now they call them soups. Just stupid. Anyway, go ahead.
Does it make you think of soups, like the food? Make you make you want to
no,
a
I just
nice
liked
tomato soup?
I liked the
nice tomato basil.
No, I liked the way that they used capes as a derogatory term towards superheroes. I thought that was original.
Is this your long box or?
I said before you continue, I just wanted to point that out.
Before you continue, I want to derail everything.
Let me just derail everything you talked about. Yeah.
So East of West is the series that I'm talking about. So I've read the first 4 volumes. It's Jonathan Hickman and Nick Grotta, I believe. I read up on it before I had found it. I'd seen it at a local library, and I've been running to read it for a while. I had a little bit of knowledge on it. All I knew was that Hickman said that it was a series about this impeding end of the world, but that could be prevented, but no, it won't be prevented because everybody doesn't communicate with each other properly. That's kind of just the theme of the series, and it's such a bizarre series, an interesting world that he has built that I feel through the first 4 volumes that I've read. And where I wasn't kind of interested in it at first, but the more I read it, the more I was like, oh, I see where this is going. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really liking this. Because while there is a ton of amazing, like, set piece shots and splash pages and amazing action, there's also this weird, interesting world that he's built, because like you're kind of just thrown into it and you're kind of just figuring out what's happening as it's happening in the world building. There's exposition and dialogue, but the world building it just seems more organic. And then the 4th volume, the first few, like if you get the trades, the beginning of it is just a timeline. And it's a timeline of each faction that's in the book. And for me, who loves lore and like world building and shit like that, the nerd in me was like, oh, this is finally it gets a little bit of understanding of what's happening. Because at this point of the story, we are heading towards the apocalypse. We are heading towards war. Like, there's no stopping it. And there are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in this story. But 3 of them are born, like, reincarnated pretty much. And they're like, wait a minute, he's gone. And the 4th one is Death. And Death is trying to find his son, who he has with this woman that is... she's a part of the People's Republic of America, which is like this House of Mao. And like it like the whole timeline starts at 1910. And we are in the year like 2065 or something like that at this point in the book. So... he kind of laid that groundwork of it really deviates hard from our timeline of like what's actually happening, because the country is divided in territories again. So like there's Texas, the Republic of Texas, there's the Kingdom of New Orleans that is run by King John Freeman, I believe, and he has like 9 sons. So like he's just going to keep this lineage forever. And yeah, it's just like the whole thing is it's just so fascinating. And it's not a White House, it's the White Tower. And then but there's this group of people that do shit in the shadows called the Chosen. And they're supposed to bring the message, which I'm really fucking pissed that Critical Drinker uses that in his videos. Because this whole book is talking about the message of the end of the times. And it's just a lot of stuff that I can't explain without spoiling. And I want to kind of be vague. But even I don't even have a lot of the answers because I'm only like halfway through the entire series. But from what I'm reading, the dialogue for me and all this crazy shit, it's the politics of it that is the most interesting thing. When you have all of these characters that have their own agendas, don't even really like each other, have shaky alliances because they're trying to keep things together. But then you also have this other group that's close to those people in power that it's saying, hey, this is how we're going to bring forth the apocalypse, and this is how we're going to start anew. It's the message. This is what the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse want, and blah, 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 blah. It's all this crazy shit, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And there are tons of crazy action sequences because Hickman has been writing comic books for a very long time. He knows how to write a pretty compelling story and have really cool imagery, and like just the tech of it. Like there's one, like they took the Texas Rangers and kind of made them like almost like Judge Dredd style, like street judges pretty much, and they have like these really cool fucking visors and cowboy hats and shit. And one of them has this robot dog that like helps him hunt and stuff. And like there's just so many cool things. And then there's like this group of Native Americans that's called the Endless Nation, and they are actually one of the biggest, strongest forces in the world right now because they found this thing called the Machine Land or the Machine City, and they have all this technology. It's like, again, crazy big head comic book shit, and it's just, but it's truly it. Even though I'm probably saying that and it seems like a lot, and it is, when you read it, it makes so much sense, and it just you can, like you were talking about just with Point Break, where you lose the illusion of the camera and you feel like the fly on the wall. I feel like that in this book. I don't feel like I'm reading this book. I feel truly immersed in the world. Like that's just how compelling and interesting that world is that he builds. So I'm a huge fan of the East to West stuff right now. Now, by the time I get to volume 10 and I hate it, then fuck Hickman. You know what I mean? Fuck him. No, I'm just kidding.
I've only seen Avatar once. I'm never going to see it again, and I don't give a fuck about The Way of Water or his planned quadruplegy or whatever the fuck he's doing.
There's like 4 or 5 movies now.
I don't.
Going to be 2065.
I remember watching it. It's like a 3-hour movie.
The first Avatar, yeah,
and a lot of it takes place among the Na'vi. So most of, even though it's fairly realistic backgrounds and stuff, you know, so it fucks with you. Like when you get done watching that movie, it kind of fucks with you a little bit because you're used to seeing, you know what I mean? Like Crete, I guess. I don't know, and they're also so humanoid and whatnot. Here's another movie, A Scanner Darkly, is all rotoscoped.
Yep.
So, but it's real, you know what I mean? It's real actors and real worlds. Yeah, it's just right. But when you get done watching that, it's like reality is kind of hard to adjust back to because if you're watching
review that movie,
I would love it.
I think it's on Tubi.
I would love it. That's one of my favorite movies.
I have not seen that movie.
I know. I think you guys would really like it.
Alex Jones is in that movie.
I know. You told me that. I fucking didn't even know that. I'm an actor. I was in A Scanner Darkly.
I'll eat your ass.
Is he a Texan?
Yeah.
Okay, so is Richard Linklater.
I think.
Later.
Or Hickman?
No, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
So is Linklater. And Mike Judge.
No, but I'm
pretty sure.
I'm glad.
I better not be talking about my ass.
I'm also fortunate I hopped on East of West when I did, and because I didn't know that the series had ended. So I was like, oh, sweet. So the series does end, so I can actually just binge through these trades. So that's what I've been doing. And it was really funny coming back from the library because I found all the other volumes that I needed to read.
Houston, Texas. I thought so.
So I had finished volume 4 and went to my local library and got volumes 5 through 10 and checked them out because I'm like, I need to finish this series. I need to know where this goes. Yeah. So maybe I'll do a full series
I thought you
review,
were done with your review
of that, but yeah, sorry. I was kind of done, and then
I was kind of done, and then I
kept
fucked
going.
it up. Yeah.
A little bit shorter episode, but it's a little bit more relevant.
You know what?
You know?
That's for you. That's for you guys. Yeah.
We don't have to do this, all right?
No, I was saying like this week is less time that you have to listen to us.
Oh, that's
a little,
thoughtful.
It's a nice little. Hey, you know what? You can get to sleep earlier.
Get to sleep earlier? I can't go to bed until I've heard new
off
topic.
off topic.
Episode 161.
61. Dude.
So let's circle back to that. Would that be a threesome position? Like one person is like straight up, and then the person in the middle is kind of like curved a little, and then the other person, the third person, they would be straight.
Okay, so if you have two. Okay, so this is 61, 6 and a 1.
Right.
And we're assuming. Okay, so there's this 0 part is one person like cross-legged.
Wait, is there 4 people now or 3
no,
people?
it's 3. And they're basically like, you know,
wheelbarrow, like a wheel. Like,
sure.
What are we talking here?
I don't know. I haven't had sex in a long time. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.